Weapons, 2025. All right, so you were talking about you were comparing it.
Oh yes, to Longlegs, yes. Because last year it was like, Longlegs was like, scariest movie of the year, scariest movie you'll see in a while. It wasn't, but I still liked it. I thought it was good.
It didn't have nothing to do with like the people that made Longlegs, right?
No.
I feel like the I don't know, almost like the art style was, I don't know if I can even call it art style.
The direction, yeah.
Yeah, the direction, it kind of reminded me a little bit of it.
Yeah, oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know if it was just like spoilers, but it's kind of like culty shit.
Yeah.
And this one too, so.
Yeah, fucking classic, fucking demon, devil, witchcraft kind of stuff. But yeah, like I said, the movie the movie does a thing where like it shows the perspective of like how many people is it? Like 4 or 5.
So there's
Justine, there's Josh Brolin.
Yes, one of the dads.
Fucking
The cop.
Drughead. And then Alex?
There's Alex, and then there's the principal.
That's the principal. I was gonna say. So that's 6, yeah. So it takes that's about 6, yeah. So there's 10 different perspectives of what's going on within I think it was 3 days, 2 days, something like that.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably very short.
Yeah, it's
span of time.
Yeah, short span of time in these couple days or whatever, and you get the perspective from each 3 of them, which I think that's cool as a concept. I don't think it was needed here though. I think once you watch the whole movie, I don't know. Yeah, because I'll wait till the end there because it's just you go through this thing and it's just nothing really happens until the very last story. Yeah. The horror elements are there because it's they forgot. It's sometimes they forget that this was a horror movie, and so the main because they have the kids disappear at 2:17 in the morning, they run out and they're all gone, and then everyone but this one kid, he's the only one that's still in class or whatever, and then they shut down the school for a month, and then everyone moves on about it. Well, not everybody, but the parents are still hey, what are we doing? Some of them are just staying in their house, not coming out, and then you got Josh Brolin here, doing what the police should be doing, but I guess they don't really. They're kind of like Gotham PD. They don't really want to do it
to the detriment of his job, where he's ordering the wrong paints.
Yeah, ordering the wrong paints. Got the fucking
wrong material, wrong paints. What's going through your mind, Josh? But Justine, I think the actress is good. I think everyone in the whole every actress did really good across the boards. I think this movie could have been a lot shorter, and I think it could have been a lot quick to the point. But we'll say that for later. They could have cut out a lot of there's a lot of I don't know. Just
I felt like the first couple stories. I mean, maybe besides Josh Brolin's and the principals, but even then, I think if you just start with Alex, you just do Alex the entire time. You don't even need the principal. But
it's you need Justine, their teacher. You need Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
He was pretty good in that. You don't need the cop.
No.
You definitely don't need the drug head.
No, you didn't. No, definitely.
The principal, have him in the movie as a side character, but he doesn't need to be
yeah.
Or maybe make his story real short to the point. You don't need.
I don't think you need the teacher in it either. I think you do what you did with the teacher with the principal, like you said. I think you just make her a side character because she doesn't do nothing in her story. If she just goes and don't get me wrong, she's freaking out because half of her kids are disappeared, so she doesn't know what to do with them, or she doesn't know what to do. But it's just
basically she starts a scandal.
With
the cop and that's not even necessary.
She just goes, she's and then she goes to the liquor store, gets 2 vodka bottles, comes home, and then someone knocks on her door, and then it's a little tense moment, and then she's son of a bitch, and she opens the door with a little fucking box cutter or whatever. She's I'm gonna get this son of a bitch, but then there's nobody there, and then next day she goes to the bar with the cop, and then they bang each other, and then the next day she drops him off, and she's suck my dick. And then
they hate each other.
And then she leaves, and then she goes and follows, and then she goes to the kid's Alex house, and she's oh hey Alex, because she's trying to get in contact with the kid because she just wants to see what's going on, and she goes to his house first, and like the kids got first of all, the kids got newspapers in his house on his windows all of a sudden.
All over
like,
his windows.
how is no one gonna like look at that and be like, "What's going on over there?" And you know, in a tight knit community, nobody talked to this family of this Alex kid. Like everyone just kind of like forgot about him. But like, so the teacher goes. I forget what the teacher's name. Oh, Justine. Justine goes over to the kid's house. She looks in there. The newspaper's on the wall, and she like peeks through like a little crack in one of the newspapers, and she sees like. I guess you didn't know at the time, or maybe you did if you put it together. But I guess like you know, she just sees two silhouettes of people just sitting there on the couch, just looking at her,
blankly staring.
Yeah, and so then she's like, oh, you know, she gets scared, and I think she looks back, and I think they're there again. Are they there again when she?
Yeah,
looks back?
they just didn't move.
Yeah, they just didn't move, and so yeah, and then she's like, but she makes a loud noise or whatever, and then she calls the principals, and the principal's like, sorry, we can't do all that right now. You know, you shouldn't have been in contact with them to begin with, and then she goes again to the house. She meets Alex. She's like, hey, Alex, how you been or whatever. And then he's like, don't fucking follow me no more, fucking weirdo. And then she's like, oh, okay. And then she gets back in her car and she
sleeps outside of his house.
Yeah, sleeps outside of his house and fucking pours more vodka into her little fucking big gulp drink. And then she fucking passes out. And then I think this was probably the best tense moment of the movie was when the door opens to the house and like the lady comes out with like fucking big ass pair of scissors or whatever the fuck they were.
Yeah, she's not trying to hide or anything. She's just kind of like staggering through the street.
Yeah, she's doing like the fucking weird like dance or whatever. And so then she's like, why she's like going on the thing, which it was funny. I was like, yeah, but it's when she gets close to the car and then like she's at the door, at the window, and then she goes around and then you hear the door open. You were like, oh, okay, this shit's gonna get crazy. And then she just cuts her hair, and I was just like, damn, that was a little. It does like. Do something in the story later on, but to me, I was just like, damn, that was a cool tense moment, and then it just kind of got ruined with more comedy. This movie kind of remind me of like the Marvel movies where like they get serious, but then when they think they've got too serious, they make a joke about something. I'm just like, why? I was just like, it's a horror movie. You marketed it as a horror movie, I should say, or whatever. So, or like a thriller, and I thought, you know, okay, cool comedy elements here and there, whatever, but. For the most part, like I said, when the scary stuff happens, it's like they forgot it was a horror movie. Because like the only really scary stuff that happens was that tense moment in the car scene, and then the other scary kind of jumpy moments
like whenever they're having dreams.
Yeah, it's when they're having dreams of fucking Gladys and fucking spoilers, but we already said that. But yeah, having dreams of like the clown lady or whatever. And then I was like, oh, and like I said, I was like, until we finally meet her, I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. It's kind of like a creepy demon kind of thing or whatever. I was like, okay, but then you go to so Justine, she kind of just like, and that's the end of her story. She just gets her hair cut, and then that's pretty much it. And then they go to, damn, I forgot what Josh Brolin's character's name is in this fucking movie. But anyway, they jump to him, and he's sleeping in the bed, and the wife's like, I'm going to work. And then he goes, doesn't say anything, and then she's like gone for the rest of the movie. She doesn't ever come back. And then he gets up, and he's like fucked up at work, like he's not focusing and shit or whatever. And then
he's like basically he just leaves work, and then he's like looking at his Ring camera footage of like where the kid went.
Yeah.
And he's trying to ask other people their footage to try and like triangulate.
Yeah.
Where the kids are like running towards, and then. They're able to. He gets with the Justine teacher later on, and she's able to pinpoint an exact house.
Yeah.
That's where the only kid that survived.
Yeah.
Basically, she's like, oh, you found this area. His house is in that area.
Yeah, exactly. Which I thought was a little. I don't know. Okay, it did kind of feel like they wrote themselves in a corner. It was just kind of like, damn, how are they gonna find the kids? And they were just like, okay, just make a triangle and then just circle a house.
I don't even remember. How did they get inside the house? Did they just?
Remember because the cop comes out and he's like, and he waves them over there. And then,
okay, yeah.
And so, so fucking Josh Brolin, he's being a detective. And he's been fucking with the teacher also. He ordered the wrong paint at work, so he put it in the back of his truck, and then he took that. Then he followed the teacher from the liquor store back to her house, and he wrote "witch" on her fucking car with his paint, and then. Yeah,
they end up like grouping up together. Like he thought she was the cause of all this.
Yeah, well, because he meets her at the gas station, and then because while he's doing his detective shit, and he meets fucking Justin Long. Shout out to my boy Justin Long too, and Sarah Paxton making a return. But yeah. So then he goes to the parents' other house, and they're like, "Can we use the footage?" And then mom's like, "No."
Hell no.
And then the dad comes on me and then Josh Brolin like big dicks the dad. He's just like, "Hey, let me go ahead and use that. Let me use the footage." And he's like, "Oh,
yeah. You can use the footage, yeah."
And so he's like, "Yeah." And so then he uses the footage and then he puts it together. He's like, I don't know, 6 or 7, and he's just like, look, they're all kind of walking, but the parents are like, this guy's a fucking weirdo. So then he leaves. So yeah, and then he follows the teacher to the gas station, or he sees her pulling in, and so he pulls in with her.
Just wants to like talk shit and fuck with her.
Yeah, he's just fucking with her.
The damn principal comes running through,
and then fucking principal's fucking been fucking binging Naruto, just fucking running in like a fucking madman, and fucking and then like you see like this guy's fucking eyes are fucking popping out of it. It looks like his eyes are fucking popping out of his head.
He's got blood all over his face.
Yeah, and he's fucking wearing a Steamboat Mickey shirt, I think. And then he's like, and then the teacher's like, Marcus? And then just fucking pulls on tackles her. And then like, it's like I guess like a little mishap or whatever. So she escapes, but Josh Brolin's kicking the shit out of the principal. And then they go to the gas station. And then they go in the gas station. Nobody fucking helped this girl either. Like she's like, somebody help me.
And I was like, get out of my store.
Get out of my store. And so I was like, damn, nobody's fucking helping nobody in this fucking town. And then so then they cut from that. I think that's when that story ends. And then they go to Marcus. I think they go to the principal next.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they go to the principal next. And then
he's trying to figure out like what's going on with Alex's parents, and then his parents don't answer. So the Aunt Gladys, ends up going and talking to him, and then she's able to manipulate him into having him go over. No, she goes to his house. Try and talk to him about how she's gonna be the guardian or whatever.
Yeah, because he's like, I really need the guardians here. He's like, I come to their house if that's okay. And she's like, no, I don't need you to. And then I'm like, but then she like looks over and she sees like a ribbon of things or whatever in his room. So then like she's gonna do something with that. So then she takes that, and then she does show up at his house later while he's eating hot dogs, and she's banging on the door. She's like, sorry, my bus didn't fucking didn't take me to it, didn't pick me up, I missed it or whatever. Can I come inside? And then she comes inside and she does her fucking her anime villain stuff, and she like starts cutting herself and then fucking demon shit, and then like it turns out like she's got like a little cool like ring bell, and then when she like rings it, she fucking takes control of like the people or whatever. So she takes control of the principal, and she makes him fucking invincible him, and just fucking headbutts the shit out of his boyfriend, and just like boom,
it's like,
boom.
She steals the boyfriend's hair, so it's like, I guess whatever item you get from that person, you can control them.
Yeah.
And then whoever's hair you get, that's like how you mark that person to be killed.
Yeah,
or whatever.
I think so. And so
I guess it's just explaining why later on, whenever they go into the house, they're waved in by the cops to go into the house.
Yeah.
Whenever she was sleeping in the car, she took her hair, and then I guess she is able to grab Brolin's dog tags.
Yeah, that's at the end though. Then she's able to get him at the end. But yeah, and so it wasn't Marcus next. It was the police officer, which serves no point to this movie at all, because he's just like a fucking dickhead. Like, I mean, he's not like terrible or nothing, but like he doesn't really do much. He just kind of fucking, he's an alcoholic, so he's trying to get over it. But he's a cop, so he's struggling with his withdrawals and fucking beating the shit out of people. So he beats, and so he meets the junkie guy, and he's like chases him down, and he's like, "Is there anything that can stab me?" And the guy's like, No. And then he fucking reaches in his pocket and fucking stabs himself, and then just fucking boom, just fucking beats the shit out of him, and then he's like knocks him out. But he's like, "Hey, I hit you. You did me dirty." So
whenever he hit him, like his police camera was like right on the hood, and he hit him right on the hood. So
then he then he does that, and then he lets the junkie go or whatever, and then he goes and then he gets the text from Justine, the teacher, and then they meet at the bar. They bang each other again. I mean, not again, but it's like from the first part of the story, from Justine's point of view. And then he wakes up the next day, gets dropped off, and then his wife comes back home early, and then she's like, damn, fucking son of a bitch cheated on me. And then and he also had the weird relationship. Oh, because his wife at the time is like the police department's like head chief, and they had like these weird moments when they were talking to each other. And I understand it was kind of like, the son-in-law, father-in-law, they don't really like each other, I guess. But I was just like,
awkward.
Yeah, it was just awkward. I was like,
you calling me old? I'm just giving you shit.
I was like, why? But yeah, and so then the cop comes out to the police department again, and he sees the junkie that he told. He's like, don't let me see you again, or I'm gonna get you. So he sees him again. He's like, hey, you son of a bitch. And then we switch to the junkie, and then the junkie, I don't know, he's doing junkie stuff pretty much the entire.
Just stealing shit, trying to get money.
Yeah, and then
the stuff he's stealing, he can't sell, so he tries to break in the house, and he just so happens to break into Alex's house.
Yeah, the house, and then
the house where his parents are still sitting on the couch.
Yeah,
doing nothing.
Yeah, because the junkie, he's like going through all the stuff, and he's like getting all the forks and spoons and stuff, and like the.
I got a question. So like, after he gets all the forks and spoons, like he just so happens to look at the parents, and they don't do anything at first, but eventually they stand up.
Yeah, they stand up. Yeah.
Did she just like give a command to tell?
Yeah, well, like maybe it was like maybe she like just woke him up, like
But she didn't have his hair, so they wouldn't have been able to do anything by their rules.
Yeah, so but I maybe like she like just like it was like maybe like a scare tactic, just wake up the parents and then get him out the house because you're right, she didn't have his hair at the time, and so he runs out the house or whatever. But then like he goes to the pawn shop again to pawn like all the forks and shit. And he's like, and he sees on the wall there's like a $50,000 reward for the kids or whatever. Yeah. And then he's like, calls the police. He's like, I know where that's at. So they're like, he's like, can someone meet me? Y'all meet me somewhere, or do I got to go over there? So he goes to the police, and then that's how him and the cop meet again. And then we go with the principal, and then no, that's not. I apologize, that's wrong. They go back to the house because he's like, I can tell you where the kids are. Because the cop chases him down again, and he stabs him in the face with needles again, the junkie does. And he's like, son of a bitch, and he's about to blow his head off with a shotgun. But he's like, I know where the kids are. And so he's like, he's like, you fucking lying son of a bitch. But he's like, take me there. And then they go to the house. But, as soon as they take him to the house, you already know, like, just, like, the cop gets out, and then he goes into the house, and he comes out, and he's not the same. You can tell he's not the same. And then he drags the junkie into the house. And then we go to the principal, and then that's when, like, you find out the big bad this whole time was Aunt Gladys. And then we shift over to, so after he fucking chases him in the gas station, but, like, he's still, like, locked on to Justine, so, like, he can't, like, stop chasing her, and so then he gets, like, just fucking ran over by a car or whatever.
Yeah, they drive off, he's running in the road, he gets run over by a car, and that's when they decide to go to... They finally group together. They're like, all right, let's put our differences aside.
Yeah, and then we go to Alex, and then you turn out, like I said, it's Aunt Gladys the entire time. That fucking she like I don't know, because it kind of seems like they didn't even know her really, because they're like, Aunt Gladys is coming over, and then that's what the dad says to Alex, and he's like, why? Like, we don't really know her that well. I've never met her. And he's like, shit, me neither. And I'm like, why are we gonna let her? But he does the sappy line, family's family, and I was like, okay. And so then the mom and cleaning up the house, and then the dad's, he's all like helping her out, and then she's like, clean up your room. Well, then Aunt Gladys gets there, and then shit hits the fan where she's not looking so good, and then like he opens the door because she's like, the mom's like, don't open that door because your aunt got here last night or whatever, she's sleeping, and of course. He does what kids do. He opens the door.
She's just staring
and
right
she's
at the
just
door.
fucking looking sick and just staring right at him. And then he comes back down, or he comes back from school the next day, and then she's sitting there with the mom and dad, but the mom and dad are like looking like in a trance or whatever, and she's like, don't tell nobody I'm here or this is what's gonna happen. And then like she fucking makes the fucking mom and dad fucking stab the shit out of themselves with the fucking forks, and I was like, damn. And then but they never really preface about like I guess maybe she's just old and she's just sick, but like they never preface on like why she's doing what she's doing and what her goal is. She's just kind of like, I'm sick, because then like Alex comes in, she's like, she calls Alex because like Alex is taking care of the parents now, feeding them chicken noodle soup almost every fucking day, and then while Gladys is doing her fucking witchcraft in the room, but like she's like throwing up one night, she's like, Alex, I need, like, I'm fucking sick or whatever, and then he's like, well, and he just wants to get her out the house, but he doesn't really know what's going on, and so he knows it's like not good, but he doesn't really know like to the extent of like witchcraft or whatever, and so but he kind of puts it together, and then he's like, well, if I help you, will you just go home? And she's like, yeah, and then she's like, bring me some of the items from the kids at your school or whatever in your classroom, and so he brings all their name things from school or whatever, goes to school, and
that's how he was able to get to the point where all the kids go missing.
Yeah.
He took a personal item from all of them.
Yeah, he took all their name things or whatever from their school boxes or whatever, and so then he gave them to Gladys, and like she like tore them up, threw them in this fucking weird bowl, lit it on fire, and then like they walked outside and all the kids started running, and then after that, and then that's when we go back to Justine and Josh Brolin, and then they teamed up, they found the house. And then they pull up, and then the police that Justine was sleeping with, he's like, come on inside, but clearly, I don't know, they make these characters seem smart in the beginning, but then just downright stupid at the end. Because, I don't know, when you look at the police, like, after, like, she's done, like, hypnotized them or whatever, they just lose sense of emotion. Like, they're just fucking puppets. And so
they can barely talk.
Yeah, they can't even talk, they just walk and, like, fucking stiff as fuck. And so it's just like, I'm like, don't go in the house, but they go in the house anyways. And then this is where like the movie just forget like after this point in the movie, they just like the third act, they just forgot it was a horror movie, and it kind of turns into like a dark comedy at the end because they get into the house, and then like of course the cop and the junkie are sitting there waiting for him to come in the house, and the mom and dad are upstairs, and Gladys told Alex, don't come out the room, and she's got like these little salt lines. She's like, don't cross the salt. And then fucking Justine and Josh Brolin do, but I mean, and then the police and the junkie start attacking him, and Josh Brolin's fighting this junkie, and he just keeps throwing him, and he's just like
tossing him like fucking Aikido.
Yeah, and he's just like, damn, and then the guy gets up again, and he goes, damn, and he goes him again, he goes, damn, and then he finally ragdolls his ass, and then he's just like, and he gets up again, he goes, damn, and then he does it again, and he goes, damn, and he does it one more time, and he goes, rat bastard or something like that, and then the cop. And then meanwhile, Justine's fighting the cop, and she blows his brains out.
Yeah, she grabs his service pistol.
Yeah, and just like marks them, and then so then they go up, and so but meanwhile that's all happening. The junkie got because the junkie gets up again and attacks Josh Brolin, and so Justine has to shoot him in the back of the head, and then while all that's going, like Josh Brolin just got this junkie's brain just like all over him, like all of his fucking brain shit all over him, and then he just immediately gets up and goes downstairs, and he's like checking on the kids, and he's like, are you Michael? Nope. Are you Michael? Nope. Are you Michael? No. And he's just, I'm like, damn. I'm like, I understand, he's looking for his kid, but it's like, these are all the kids, and so
the kids are gonna be here.
Yeah. And so then, Alex was upstairs the entire time, and he like ran into Gladys's room because she just fucking disappeared. Like she went into the room, was like, "Don't use assault," and closed the door, and then she just like, I guess went in a secret. I guess she had a secret compartment in her room because she is in the basement. When Josh Brolin's looking through the kids, he's like, "Michael." He like finds Gladys. She goes, "Rawr," and then like she grabs his necklace, and so then Josh Brolin like coming to like beat the fuck out of fucking or like to kill Justine.
Yeah.
And so he's choking her, and then Gladys walks by, and she's like, fucking emperor with her fucking hands like this, and she's like,
just like that.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And then Alex is upstairs, and then his parents are like banging on the door because like he crossed the salt, and so like now they're trying to kill him, and so he grabs one of the branches off of Gladys's magical tree. That's how she gets her powers, and then he like puts her hair on the branch, and then he cuts himself, and then she even goes like, and as soon as she does this, I was like, what's that happen? Like the spell's broken now. What's she gonna do? Instead, she goes, oh no, and goes, and runs out the house, and this chase scene, I won't say it goes on for like 8 or 9 minutes, but it goes on like 3 or 4 minutes, and it's just like, it's kind of just strictly for comical purpose, because even while the kids are chasing her, like, don't get me wrong, like when the kids were like running out the buildings, like running through the fucking windows, just chunking it, I was like, okay, that's pretty cool, but then they go back, and it's just Gladys going,
all the kids in the basement, like he was able to do the ritual and have them start trying to kill her.
Yeah.
And then eventually they like they're like running through everyone's houses, like destroying their stuff, like a kind of a comedic way, and then they eventually catch her, just start like ripping her to pieces.
Oh yeah, I mean they rip her to pieces.
I'll be kind of honest. In my opinion, I was like, okay, I don't know if we should be having child actors doing this.
That's
a little traumatizing for a little kid.
That's what I thought. I was like, man, these little kids are gonna be traumatized. Now, granted, I don't know how the spell works, so maybe they'll fucking remember it. Maybe they won't.
I'm talking about like just like the little kid.
Oh, little kids. I got
in
you.
real life. Like if you're even though it's just a movie, like being kind of in that scene, I feel like it's still a little
crazy,
a little too much.
But yeah, they fucking rip. So they rip Gladys. I mean, they fucking rip her apart, and
like they rip her bottom jaw off.
Yeah, I mean, they just rip her, and then and then Josh Brolin's like, following Matthew. He's like, and he follows the kid, and he's like, Matthew, and he fucking picks Matthew up and just leaves all the rest of the kids there in front of the body. Like, doesn't try to help him or nothing. He goes, Matthew, and he picks him up, and then he just leaves, and then Justine is at the house again with Alex, and she goes upstairs to see Alex hugging his parents, and then the same kid in the beginning that was narrating, he's like, they're like, some of the kids woke up, or, and
some of them went back to normal.
Yeah.
Some of them didn't.
Yeah, exactly. And then that was the end of the movie. That was Weapons. So, yeah, I thought it was okay. I don't know. It's definitely not a horror movie. It's definitely, I would call it more of a dark comedy. But, yeah, I thought that was it. I thought it was okay, though.
I mean, a whole lot of build up it could have been good.
Yeah, it's a slow burn. It's definitely a slow burn movie, and I was okay with that. I was like, okay, the payoff got to be crazy. And then when you get there, it's just like...
It's like my attention span isn't quite long enough. Like, okay, if they would have cut like an extra like 20, 30 minutes off,
yeah,
I probably would have liked the ending a little more.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I said, I think if they went in with just the concept of, I think you have Alex going against Gladys, maybe, because that's going to be your bad guy either way. I think that could have been like a cool tension. Like, make that movie an hour
Just
45, maybe. Yeah, and just about them two, like, going back at each other, because that's pretty much what the movie comes down to at the end. Was Alec is like taking care of his parents, he's living with the bad guy, and he saves the day. And I'm just like, damn, just make Alex.
Everyone else wasn't needed.
Yeah, and nobody else was needed. Like, I understand, like, you're trying to see the perspective of like what happens when kids get kidnapped at school or whatever. But I was just like, it didn't really, like, it was a slow burn for no reason, because I just think you could have a lot more tension with Alex and Gladys in like its own movie. But that's just my opinion. That is what it is. But yeah, that's Weapons, though. I'd say check it out. Or I would wait for it, if I'm being honest with you, because like I said, I mean, unless you're really into dark comedy, you can check it out in theaters. But I'd probably wait for it. But that's Weapons.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Do they have any more movies planned, or?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.